Hey grade 12, welcome back to your maths probability series. Today's video is all about common exam questions. How do we know if events are independent or dependent? Let's break it down simply. Independent events are when one event does not affect the other outcome, right? Don't forget, when one event does not affect the other outcome, those are independent events. An example: tossing a coin and rolling a dice. What happens with the coin doesn't change the dice roll. But in independent events, the outcome of one event does affect the other. Example: taking a card from a deck, then taking another without putting the first back. That second pick depends on the first. So, when events are independent, right? When events are independent, when events are independent, the formula that we use is P, A, and B, which is P probability of A multiplied by probability of what? Of B. And this is the formula that we use when the events are what? Are independent. So, bear with me as we do an example. Let's say you have a coin, right? And you are tossing a dice. Ne? You have a coin and you are tossing a dice, right? And I was like, calculate the probability of getting what? A tail and 3. This is the formula that you're going to use because these events are independent events, right? So you're going to basically say, okay, P is equal to probability of A. What is the probability of A? A is, in this term, probability of T multiplied by probability of 3. What is the probability of T? Probability of T, a coin have what? Two sides, it's 1 over 2 multiplied by 3. To get 3 on a dice, it's 1 over 6 outcomes, which is basically going to be 1 over 12. That's basically how you calculate when the events are what? Are independent. Now, let's look at dependent events, right? Let's look at dependent events. Let's say you draw a card from a deck of 52, right? Dependent. You draw a card, let's say one card, ne, from 52 cards, ne, from 52 cards. That's what you do. You draw one card from 52 cards, and then that card is red. That card is red. Now, draw another card without replacing the first card. So the probability, the first probability, now the first scenario, right? You are drawing a card which is what? The probability of drawing a card which is red is going to be 26 divided by 52 because there are 26 red cards and 26 black cards. That's the probability, which is going to be 1 over 2. So now when you are drawing the second card, right, the second time, what is the probability of you drawing a second red card? So your probability is going to be second red is equal to Remember, now you've drawn the card, right? Which means your 25 red card are left out of how many? Out of 51 cards. Because you just removed one card which is red. From 26, you take one. From 52, you take one. Your probability now is 25 over what? Over 51. So these are dependent events. The first event affects the second event. So now, how do you identify this event? How do you identify these events? Here's how you spot the difference in equation, right? If the first event doesn't change the second, it's independent. If the first event changes the sample space, it's dependent. Simple as that. So now, let's just do some questions to test our understanding. Question one says, you flip a coin and draw a card from a deck. Are your events independent or dependent? These events are what? Are independent. Obviously, because tossing a coin and drawing a card, tossing a coin doesn't affect you drawing a card. So these events are what? Are independent. Uh, Question two, you draw two marbles from a bag without replacing the first. So now, in order for you to go to the next event, you have to have the first one, which is like, okay, you have 10, let's say for example, you have 10 marbles in a bag, and then you draw one, right? The probability of you drawing a marble there changes when you draw the second one if you don't replace it. Especially when, let's say, the marbles have different colors. You have 5 blue and 5 red, right? At first, you're going to have, you draw a blue marble, you're going to have like, your probability is going to be 5 out of 10, 5 over 10, which is 1 over 2. But now, if you draw, when you take one marble, when the first event occurs, when you take one marble, and then maybe let's say you take blue, when you go to the next one, it's going to be 4 over 5. No, no, 4 over 9. You understand? So these events are dependent. The first, second event depend on the first one. Sorry, on the first one. Yes. And then now you know how to tell whether events are independent or dependent and which formula to use. In the next video, we'll explore Venn diagrams and how they help us solve tricky probability problems. Hit like, subscribe, and keep learning. Your success starts here. Thank you.